James have pink vegetable soup and some dragon fruit and cheese. I'm going to talk about No Time to Die, which got top of the stack against Spectre, Bring Up Baby, Living in the Dead, Road to the Lemon Grove, A Dog's Journey, Roll Bounce, Britt-Marie Was Here, Maryland, Ice Cream in the Cupboard, The Gateway, The Fabulous Four, Quantum of Solace, You Only Live Twice, 3D Sun, The Exterminating Angel, and Charlie's Angels. I would fit in, let's see, right here, I think. It's entertaining enough, honestly. The Cantos of Ezra Pound we'll probably not get to, and James is really ambitious, but we'll see what I can run through. I'll try my best.
Don't go too fast. I'm just warning people. If you like Ezra Pound, you're not going to like the review. So I'm reviewing this. Candace Ezra Pound will be going through it. And
yeah.
And then the other thing
only read through the first little bit so far. James has read
it's
through.
It's difficult reading. This is difficult reading that actually rewards you. Einführung in the Vektorrechnung, which would be like introduction to vector calculation.
So eat your soup before it gets cold.
Okay.
So, No Time to Die, because I heated it up, but it's cold out here, so I don't know how long it'll stay heated. Cool. It's probably going to be cold by now even. I don't know.
It's amazingly warm for this time of year.
It is, yeah, and it'll be nicer. So we'll have more to come soon. No Time to Die and Spectre. I had a hard time deciding which one was going to get top of the stack because they're both very entertaining. I decided on No Time to Die because basically it was one scene in this movie. The rest of it, Spectre was so awesome. I would have put it top of the stack, but there was one part where I'm like, okay, how does he have a boat? This is way too lucky for him to have this boat here. And then he's riding along on the boat, shooting at a helicopter. And I mean, they've shown that he's a great shot, can shoot people from far away and whatever. But
mustn't have been a lot of turbulence on the lake.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, he's riding along high speed on the water. Come on now. That's but yet, even because of that scene, it still managed to get really high up. Very entertaining. This one, I decided on top of the stack, which while I was watching, and when they showed the girl, the young girl, I was like, that's it. They've ruined this. I don't know what they were thinking. They're going to have to kill her. And why did they even bring her in? Because that's way too much tragedy. You know, like, sure, he has a tough time. Bond is really abused. I mean, anyway. But he has found love, and it seems to be working out, whatever. I mean, there's some problems with it, and there's always going to be some problems with it, but you see it in the young girl, and you're like, wow, yeah, that young girl is totally a mixture of who is supposed to be her parents, and she's so believable as their daughter, right? And that's awesome. And then you have like the CIA woman in the action part at the beginning of this one. Wow, she's awesome. And I always wanted to see a female Bond, so I'm glad they put one in. I don't know that I liked her so much as Bond. But who knows? There might be a really great Bond to come that's a female. So I look forward to that. Anyway, now there wasn't
yeah, you're
that
figuring
much,
it's a transition. Yeah,
I hope so. So, but they're going to have to be careful about it. You don't want to kill the series on, like, anyway. But how could they? At this point, how could they kill the series? They could do so many things to it, and people will still keep watching. But now, what I was going to say about there seemed to be a subtle kind of homoeroticism with Daniel Craig's character as Bond, and there in these two shows it's not really there so much, but there's some parts, like when he's holding Felix, you're like, just kiss him already, right? Or whatever, right? Because he's that close. And so there are parts where he seems very caring towards, but maybe that's just me watching what I'm seeing. I don't know. But bring up baby. I love Kate Hepburn. So, and Cary Grant, not bad. Together, great. I mean, they have this. This show has I guess it's a leopard or something in it. I can't remember. Some kind of big cat. And it's funny because the back of this box, like this must have been put out in some Asian place, because it says it on the back there. It's Korean. The writing's in Korean, so I can't read it to tell you what about the movie.
A lot of people wouldn't know that. But yeah, that's Korean.
But well, I didn't. I had to look down.
Oh.
Yeah. So
it's based on the Chinese script, but it's actually a syllabic script, not pictographic.
But it's very pretty looking writing. Whatever. Anyway, so bring up baby. I love seeing animal actors in movies when they do a good job, and they did a good job in this. So, or they worked with them well. I mean, the director has to know how to work with animal actors. I guess that's really what makes or breaks. Because it's tough. It's tough to work with animals. It's tough to work with children. When you get it to work out, wow. So, The Living and the Dead. Now, this is sort of like The Others. Right away when you're watching it, you're like, oh yeah, ripped off The Others, whatever. And The Others is better. So, but there's some kind of a different thing with this. It's kind of like the future haunting the past or whatever, and that's kind of interesting. So some might like that. Road to the Lemon Grove. Now, a lot of the time, I don't know if you feel this way, but when I watch Italian stuff, I think, Mamma mia, so much overacting, or whatever, right?
Much of the way they actually pronounce the language.
Maybe so. And anyway, but this was entertaining. I enjoyed watching it, and beautiful scenery. So I'd say worth it. A Dog's Journey. You see some really cute dogs in here, and they act well. They've been directed well. The story, actually, it's not bad. It has, I don't know what her name is. I'm trying to look on the back here, but I don't know. Anyway, Catherine from CSI, she's in this. Yeah. She's one of the, not the leading lady or anything like that, but she has a main sort of part. Not a really main part, but she's there. And Dennis Quaid is in this. He has about as much of a role in this as she does. So, yeah, and they did a good job. Honestly, I really liked Catherine, whatever her real name is, in this show. So,
you know, their camera guy.
I know.
Knows his stuff.
Yeah,
it's hard to get a dog to pay attention to a camera.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I don't know if there's anything really wrong with this movie. It's kind of feels like, what age group is this aimed at? You know, is it maybe a little bit too mature for kids? But I don't know if too many people but kids would want to watch this, unless you really love dogs, and I do. So there you go. Roll bounce. Now this one is basically like any dance competition movie, only it's on roller skates, which makes it more awesome. So if you're into those teen sort of movies where we're gonna have a dance off at the end, well,
what was that one with Kevin Bacon? That was the classic one.
Footloose,
right?
yeah.
That was...
But then you'd probably like this, and they've done a good job with this. They have it's not all African American cast, but like there's one guy in it, I don't know if he played a vampire or a werewolf or something like that in one of those teen TV dramas that were really popular, maybe Twilight or something, I don't know. But he's one of the people on the opposing team or whatever, the dance-off thing. with the roller skates, and he's really good. Honestly, everyone on roller skates in this, phenomenal. But I mean, how high could I rate one of the dance-off kind of movies? Really, I like the way the young man, who's the I guess the hero of the story. He's the guy you're following. He's the main character. He has a job. He delivers papers. He does not do a good job at it. He's too busy roller skating along and listening to tunes to really care about what he's doing with the paper. But it makes it funny, and it's good that it shows him having a job, whether it's, you know, he does a good job of it or not. It's something. And his dad is out of work right now, but he's been pretending that he's going to a job because he doesn't want to let the family down or anything like that, and he wants to keep up appearances. He's an educated man. He's an engineer. But he needs to find new work, right? So I like that they have you know, that push that to try to do that. There were things that I didn't like though. How do these guys all have matching roller skates when they go to do the dance-off? Or the competition. It's ridiculous. And they shouldn't have done that. They should have had them have different kinds of, it would have looked better, because they're not supposed to be really well off. They're middle class, you know, these kids, like the main character, his dad was an engineer. They're not from the hood or anything like that, and they're not pretending to be. So, but still, I don't believe that they would have matching roller skates. I don't see why they would. And when the competition comes, there's the reigning champions that everyone thinks is so great, and they're the big stars of the roller rink, whatever. They go second to last. These guys are the ones going last, and it's like, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't set it up that way. Because they want to try to keep people who are interested in watching the show, they want to keep them there, and they'd have the reigning champions do it last. But they had to do that so that the plot would be, James lost his food. So that the plot would work out, the story would work out the way they wrote it, but it didn't work. It didn't make any sense. So, anyway, Britt-Marie Was Here. Great movie for its type. You have to read subtitles. It's in Swedish. And that means I can't do anything else. I have to watch a movie or actually be there, and that's not what I do. I like to do other things, not just watch TV. I like to do other things while the TV is on. So, it just kind of holds me in place. This is about a woman who she was a housewife, and she has to make some different decisions. And I think this movie was brought to me because my sister, see, what I do is I take movies off of the return shelf for the most part at the library, and usually there's some sort of a pattern that it seems like they're meant for me or whatever when I watch them, which is, you may think that's whatever, but so when I got this, my sister was suggesting jobs to me and worried about, well, what are you going to do if James dies or this and that? And I'm like, I can't worry about it. I have to worry about keeping him alive. I can't worry about what's going to happen. Anyway, but so this woman, she's having to try to find something different to do, and she decides to be a soccer coach. You know, she goes to an employment center, and they say, well, the job's yours if you want it. And so she goes, and she's actually, she knows nothing about soccer or coaching, and yet she's a positive person in that environment. So, our friends there. Two friends, two Blue Jays right behind us. Or, well, in front of us, behind you.
Hey, guys.
So, anyway, I don't know if... Anyway, it's not a bad movie. It's just, if you happen to be Swedish, you might think it's great. Maryland. Now, there was a lot of drama going on here, and I guess whatever.
Unlike the state itself.
Well, it's not even to do with that. It's to do with two sisters and their mother who has died. And anyway, he has a peanut. They were all out of peanuts today. He went and took it from where he hid it. Yep. Must have hid it right around here.
There's Mac.
Funny little guy. Yep. Anyway, yeah, he wants the stuff too. He's probably watching, where did that guy get his peanut from? And he's going to go steal it later, because he probably has a big stash. Anyway,
well,
so...
I think they have little stashes hidden to their young. Apparently they got amazing memories, birds do. They were mentioning one bird had 80,000 hiding spots.
Oh, that's great. So anyway, it says at the end, it says, at its heart, Maryland is a love story between two sisters. And I guess it is, you know, it's... I don't know. It wasn't for me, but I'm not into drama. Ice Cream in the Cupboard. This one's about a woman who has early onset Alzheimer's, and frankly, that's got to be frightening. If you have somebody who's an aggressive personality type and they get that, what do you do, right? She seems all right, but then if she forgets something and she can get violent, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something to really think about.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if people who don't have a tendency towards violence would be that way.
yeah.
There was one guy I used to play soccer with out of the university, and started to lose his faculties, and I was told by someone whose mother had been suffering the same sort of stuff, that at the hospital they had to watch this guy because
Sure.
he was dangerous.
Yeah.
He was a big
And
guy.
I think that's the thing. If you have an aggressive personality type, you have to worry about that too. So, anyway, The Gateway. This is about the social services system, whatever. This guy's sad because he doesn't have a peanut.
He's looking
Poor
for
guy.
stuff.
Yeah, because I have sunflower seeds there, and he was like,
Yeah.
no peanuts.
Well, they're a
But
little
I'll
bit
bring them back
big
out again.
for sunflower seeds.
Yeah, they
especially.
don't like them so
for
much.
a chickadee,
They want
wow,
the-
you know, like that's
they want the
about the
peanuts.
right size. Yeah.
So, yeah, the movie. I mean, the boyfriend of this young woman here, pretty scary, very muscular. Whatever. Yeah, it's a drug sort of movie with social services. It's not for me.
Yeah.
The Fabulous Four. So this one has Susan Sarandon, Bette Midler, Megan Mullally, whoever that is, and Cheryl Lee Ralph. Oh, one of them is that woman with the squeaky voice from Will and Grace, but she doesn't have a squeaky voice in this.
So that was a put on.
Well,
Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe she had to really deepen down her voice to do this part. Maybe
Could
she
be.
didn't want to be known for the woman
Yeah,
as the woman.
well,
Maybe
you
she wanted
never
to show.
want to be typed.
Yeah. So anyway, Susan Sarandon did a great job, and
Oh yeah, she's kind of up front center.
yeah,
there.
she acted differently than I've seen her act. So great, but the movie was not. And
it's near the bottom. Of the
I mean,
stack.
yeah, it's,
That's not good. I see
No.
Bette Midler prominently featured there. Does she do
I
any-
know. Well, she
any,
does.
singing?
Bette Midler. No, she doesn't. But anyway, it's just a movie about some old friends getting back together and whatever. Who cares? Not me. I was hoping for a little more comedy. It really wasn't. There was one woman in here, the one with the squeaky voice, that doesn't have one. And she's supposed to be the slutty girl of the 4-pack, right? But it's like these women are older than me, and I've went through menopause now, and it's not believable for me. So who are you making this movie for? You're not going to sell it to young people. You're going to sell it to older women, probably. And are they going to believe it? Because honestly, I've only seen one it was a movie where one woman she was older and she was using online dating, and she went to meet a guy, and he was like, I need a relationship with sex. Sex is a big part of my life, and I won't do without it, kind of thing. And she just didn't say anything and sat there and kind of looked sad. And it's like, well, I don't know really what to say about that. I see a lot of movies with older women acting like they're 20 or 25, and it's ridiculous. When I hit menopause, no sex drive. And so in this, Bette Midler, she's given, like, her character has given Susan Sarandon, there's one part where she's given her I don't know what she calls it. It's some sort of like a little beanbag looking thing that is supposed to strengthen muscles of the vagina. Anyway, so she's given it to her, and I'm looking at it going, okay, she just has a spare one around, because it seems like, okay, she's giving her a used one, and would anybody give her, even a really close friend, a used, unless, maybe they experimented together in college or whatever. But still, I don't believe that she would give one or that she would just have a new one kicking around. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, it's used, and then anyway, so I'm looking at that, and because Bette Midler's character has assumed that her friend peed herself on the airplane because she smells bad, but really some people dumped beer on her. But anyway, you know how while I was going through menopause and before, man, every time I'd get up, leave someplace, and no matter if I went pee before I left and I came home, I was getting the keys out, putting it in the lock, and oh my gosh, every time almost peeing myself while I'm unlocking the door. It was very depressing. And
it's amazing how you can hold it until you actually get to the door.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh man, am I going to have to deal with this forever? No, I didn't have to, because what happens apparently is you have, all those wonderful little pillows that are in your vagina when you're young, that it's like a little maze of pillows up there or something. It's wonderful. Well, those disappear, and the walls of the vagina get all smoothed out. You don't have the pillows anymore. No wonderful pillows. So what happens? Well, you end up having some problems there for a while, but you also have no sex drive. I went from high sex drive to zilch, and that was also depressing. But I picked up some other hobbies, and I found that once I didn't use my vagina for that, there are a lot of things that you can do if you want to be intimate with your spouse that don't involve that. But once I didn't use my vagina for that anymore, once there was no vaginal penetration, the muscles closed it right up. So then I went to the doctor for a pelvic exam, for pap test, and she had a hard time doing the pap test, and she recommended that I strengthen basically she told me to masturbate before I came in so that she'd have an easier time getting in there. But you know what? I don't pee myself. Haven't peed myself in front of the door. I think this is the way the female body's supposed to work. Why wouldn't it? You have no sex drive when you hit menopause, and why would you have one? You're not going to get pregnant. And if you don't have sex anymore, you stop peeing yourself. Wonderful. And then you have my life basically started at menopause. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. And I'm surprised that didn't get bottom of the stack just from that. Anyway, so we have 4 minutes. I'm really rocking through these things. So, Quantum of Solace. This one was pretty close to the bottom. And I didn't expect to have any of these Bond things. So this is You Only Live Twice.
Classic one.
And I didn't care for it. It's Anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. So, well, I guess I could talk about all of these quickly. So, not worth watching. There we go. Not worth talking about, I suppose. So, and this one, I did find see, what happened is I borrowed You Only Live Twice. I was getting, the little remastered ones or whatever. And I got the copy from our library, and it was so scratched up. I was able to watch the first part, and then the second half was just or more than the second half. It was really hard to watch. It was impossible, actually. And so I brought it back to the library, and I put a note for them to fix it. And I put another one on hold, and they sent me this one, and this one isn't the remastered one. And so when I watched this at the beginning, I was like, they really did a good job with remastering, because you watch this and the little spaceships, shuttles and whatever, they look really cheesy. But I like that. I like that part of it. So you might want to look at the undigitally remastered one, just so that you get that kind of thrill of looking at very silly little models. But then this one, the beginning of it, the beginning half was really scratched up or whatever and hard to watch, but the end I got through it okay. So there might be some stuff in the middle that I missed, but honestly not enough to make me want to try to watch it again. This one was not good, and I've really liked the Bond stuff so far, so I don't know what to tell you. 3D Sun, as close as you ever want to get. And frankly, this is not a good video. It's only 23 minutes long. It's basically like an ad for this, I guess, what are they? I don't know. Are they satellites or something? They have these things that they're taking, like, there's one on one side of the sun and one on the other side of the sun, so they get like a 3D image effect from these things that they've sent out there. So basically it's like a documentary about these things that they sent up there, and you're watching it going, wow, how much do they spend on this? And I am not seeing how this is worth it at all. Like, they're saying, oh, this is so great that we're getting this 3D whatever. I can't see it.
Doing that with the moon. They actually do composite photos of the moon, because the moon looks best when you can see the craters the best when the sunlight's coming in from the side like this.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
maybe there is a good reason for it. I just couldn't see it.
Do a composite photo like over here and over here.
Or maybe they just didn't do a good job explaining why. Yeah. So the Exterminating Angel.
Oh, that's right at the bottom.
So bad. It's in Spanish, so there's that. I had to read subtitles, and I couldn't do anything else. But,
Was that a llama, though?
Well, they ended up eating... Oh.
Eating llama?
Well, anyway, no, it's not a llama. It's a sheep or a goat, or... I guess it'd be a sheep.
I thought it was maybe from South America. I
had read... Exterminating the Angel when I borrowed this out of and I thought, well, what's that? But no, this is just some stupid Spanish thing. And honestly, I don't know why. I didn't understand the story. They're trapped in this room together, and I mean, yeah, there's this little bear, but it's tame, and everyone knows it's tame, whatever. And it's a cute little bear, so cute. And then there's
as cute as those ones that you saw this summer.
Yeah, because it was well, maybe not. They
that
were
one was coming on the path.
so cute.
That's cute.
Anyway, I put out a